Hi there, welcome to my Brotherhood of Steel player home build I just finished. Before getting into the video, I do want to get a couple things out of the way. Firstly, if you want to skip over my annoying voice and go straight to the silent tour, don't you worry, here's a timestamp that will take you right there. Speaking of my annoying voice, I do want to apologize for the sound quality. The microphone and Apple headphones can only do so much, you know what I mean? Alright, now where the hell are we? I'm at Greentop Nursery. I specifically chose Greentop here because it's right next to Listening Point Bravo, which if you played the Brotherhood campaign, you'll recognize it as the place you kill Paladin Danse. This plays a huge role in my idea behind the lore of this build and why I even made it in the first place. After completing the campaign fully for the first time, I wanted to make a Brotherhood-themed settlement. Sure, this place is cozy and all, but this build was also my break from working on a sanctuary project, and I really didn't feel like decorating the style of home, so I scrapped almost everything. I wanted to keep this little garage over here to the side because I thought it was cute, but I just couldn't fit it around the workshop, and I can't move the workshop due to Xbox limits, so here we are. We're working with what we got, okay? As you can see, I kept the greenhouse basically the same because I didn't feel like messing with it too much. I just added doors, some signs, and a couple small things. The house, however, was a home style I hadn't really worked with in a settlement before. Side note here, to get inspiration for this build, I took a trip down to Fairline Hill Estates. There's like 6 or 7 differently designed kinds of these style buildings, and I totally recommend this area if you're having trouble laying out this kind of home. I do want to take a quick walkthrough in workshop mode because I feel like this looks pretty simple, and don't get me wrong, it didn't take that long to make, but there's a lot of little details and a few things that I feel might get a couple questions, so I'm just going to run through it real quick. The mod I used for the house is Snappy House Kit. They have modular pieces so you can make your own, but this prefab did the trick for what I wanted. Most of the grass and landscape is hand placed using grass, bushes, and shrubs from mods like USO, CVC, and SOE. When scrapping a lot like whole buildings, the ground can look flat, boring, and mixed textured. This can make new buildings look really out of place, so I'm always adding nature elements to make my builds really fit into its surrounding environment. One of the first things I want to take a quick look at is Dance's memorial or grave that I made him over here. The gravestone I found in USO, and the grave itself is actually a farm plot. USO had a grave, but I was having some floating issues, and it worked fine. The rest is just placed and made static using place anywhere. I really enjoyed this little bit of foliage over here. It just made a nice clear path back to the front of the building, and it really tied things up out here. Here in the kitchen, most everything is from the mod Modular Kitchen, except for here, this sink. It's actually a modular kitchen sink squeezed into a regular counter because Modular Kitchen did not have this counter that I wanted, so I just made it work. I'm not gonna lie, I had a little too much fun setting up the dining room here. The plates I got from Creative Clutter, and I just felt that someone in the Brotherhood, he or she, would have, I don't know, a nice orderly home, a nice dining room, and I just always wanted to kind of mess with place settings like that, so I did. Upstairs, I placed this wood-burning stove from Creative Clutter, and I just didn't really like how the pipe looked sticking out of the wall like that, so I actually took a clock and turned it around and placed it in there just to make it look more natural and not as flush with the wall. I'm sure there were other vents or something I could have used that would have worked a little better, but I like the clock, so I'm keeping it. Over across the hall in the bedroom, I really liked how these windows kind of gave a clear view to the whole greenhouse and the whole settlement, so I put a little sniper spot here. I feel like it'd be a good defense point if someone was trying to break into the greenhouse or anything. Over here, the bed. I see this bed used a lot as a bedroom creative clutter, so to make it a little more unique to my build, I put a tiny little Brotherhood flag right over here in the corner. Now to my second favorite room in the house, my armory over here. I just placed and snapped these walls in here, and my favorite little detail actually in this build is the weapon rack over here. It's actually a normal sized weapon rack that I just used place anywhere to scale down in size, not only so it would fit on the little shelf here, but so it would actually fit the gun a little better as well. I normally use place anywhere just to squeeze things where they shouldn't go or keep junk where I want it to be, but you can actually use it for a lot of other things like scaling and positioning and stuff like that. I tried it out with a few different things in this build, but the only thing that really stuck was the weapon rack. Now we're off to my favorite part of the build, which is where the idea and lore even came from in the first place. I thought, hey, maybe while the sole survivor was infiltrating the Institute, they could find some sort of way that they could transfer synth components or bring the memories from another synth into a different one. So let's say bring Paladin Danse back to life. I just really like the idea of trying to bring your mentor back, so I set up this little medical area in the attic here, cluttered it up with some boxes so it looked like it was trying to be hidden, and made a little area so that the sole survivor could do just that. Now I know this is a Gen 1 synth, and it's probably unlikely that you could do that with another synth component like Dance's, but I tried everything in my power to either get Dance's body or an upgraded synth into this spot. It just didn't work out, and CVC already had this one set up, so it was just kind of like the last plan I had. Trust me, I even tried spawning a Danse clone and killing it, but here's a clip of what happened when I tried to talk to him to see if he would get out of his power armor.
Hey.
Well, with that being said, thank you for watching. I hope you enjoy the silent tour. Let me know what you think of this new format. I've never really done anything with my voice before, so it was interesting to try to do. Or if you have any other questions about mods or where I found something, let me know in the comments down below.